All right, we are live on Dodgers Digest. I'm Mike Nelson talking Dodger baseball. Of course, the Dodgers got a big W last night, 10-5 over the Cincinnati Reds. As we know, the Dodgers kicked off their wild card series this year. Unfortunately, the Dodgers had to play in the wild card, being the third worst division winner. So of course, with the new rules that Major League Baseball put in a couple years back, that's the way it goes now. And teams got to play in that wild card round. And that's exactly what the Dodgers did last night. It's the first time the Dodgers play in this new format ever, right? Because gotta remember, the last time the Dodgers played in the wild card was 4 years ago, a game that I was at back in 2021. It's kind of crazy. It's been 4 years, but 4 years ago, the Dodgers played in the old wild card game. If everybody remembers that, the wild card game against the St. Louis Cardinals at Dodger Stadium. Chris Taylor getting the walk-off. That was the last time the Dodgers played in this type of in this series, right? In the round before the NLDS. But yeah, Dodgers get the win. There's a lot to talk about, of course, about this W, where the Dodgers clearly showed that they are a lot better than the Cincinnati Reds by quite a bit. I mean, they clearly dominated this game for most of it. I mean, I'm not going to say they dominated from start to finish, because unfortunately things got a little bit hairy there in the last couple innings, especially in the eighth, right? But for the most part, the Dodgers really, took it to the Reds, took an early lead. Ohtani hitting that home run way back in the bottom of the first inning, a line drive home run, really gave the Dodgers a lot of confidence, right? The Dodgers kind of, we talked about this yesterday we talked about it 2 days ago with Brad, talking about how the Dodgers need to jump out to an early lead in order to kind of, put the Reds away. And that's, the Dodgers, had they not taken the big lead last night, we were probably talking about a different story, right? Because, I mean, we saw what happened at the end in the seventh and eighth inning. The Dodgers gave up 5 runs. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. You don't take an early lead in these playoff games. You leave the door open. And the way the Dodgers bullpen is continuing to look, I mean, you don't feel as confident when it is a close game. So that's something that, we have to kind of keep an eye on with the Dodgers and, close games in the bullpen, right? I want to go to the chat here. What's up, Craig? What's up, Eduardo? We got to keep our foot on the gas. Yeah, of course, the Dodgers today, because Game 2 is tonight, Dodgers have the opportunity to close it out, right? I mean, that's it. I mean, win tonight at Dodger Stadium, and they're going to the NLDS on Saturday in Philadelphia. So, got to get the job done today. You don't want to play a third game tomorrow. This is a best-of-3 series, so just win today, right? Win today. Craig saying Dodgers should have gone with Warbo. Yeah, I mean, the Dodgers, I think, looking back on their decisions to of course, first they went with Vesia and, Henriquez and those guys. It just didn't really work out, right, in the seventh inning. And, yeah, I mean, it in the eighth inning, first Vesia came in, right, to close out the seventh. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, the Dodgers really, that's where kind of I would have liked for them to have won, like 8-0, 10-0. I think it would have been a lot better. You would have felt a lot better after the win, because, the way the last few innings went, it's just not the way to go. I mean, I was looking at one of the stats, which I thought was really interesting, was, what was it, the eighth inning was like the most pitches in a playoff game since 1988 for an opposing team. The Dodgers had to throw almost 60 pitches in that eighth inning, which is pretty crazy. In one inning, throw that many pitches. So, I mean, that's a lot of bullpen pitches right there. I mean, I think that's something that we have to kind of keep an eye on, because the Dodgers still have to play another game today, and then could potentially be playing tomorrow, and then they got to play again Saturday. So the Dodgers are using up the bullpen even against the Cincinnati Reds, which is not where we wanted to be. I think the Dodgers, would have liked Blake Snell to close out that seventh, maybe even come out for the eighth. Who knows, right? I mean, the way his pitch count was going, you maybe thought he could go 7, 8 innings, right? He didn't complete the seventh. But I think, looking back at yesterday's game, what I think affected Blake Snell was the sixth inning, right? I mean, remember the Dodgers had a bit of a rally in the bottom of the sixth. I mean, the Dodgers kind of put a couple more runs there in the sixth inning to make it 8-0 at that point, right? And I think that kind of affected Blake Snell because Blake Snell had to wait in the dugout it was a long inning, that bottom of the sixth inning. It was a long inning, and I think when Blake Snell came out to pitch the top of the seventh, he just did not seem the same. It had kind of lost a little bit of velocity and definitely had lost control. Because he had very good control for most of the game, right? The first 6 innings of his start, I mean, Blake Snell was, the Reds only had, one runner in scoring position, I believe, in those 6 innings. Only one time they got a double in one of those innings, and that was the only time the Reds really got close to scoring in the first 6 innings. But seventh inning, they got people on, and there was more action on the bases, and Snell just did not seem, he was a little bit wild with his pitches, right? And I think that's not the best way to go, because I think the sixth inning, like I said, kind of set Snell back. Snell was not the same, I think, in that seventh, and that kind of threw the Dodgers off, and he ended up giving up those runs in those innings, right? And then, Vesia, of course, came in, and the bullpen is just not pitching good right now, and I think that's the weakness of the Dodgers. I mean, that's it. I mean, the weakness, the Dodgers, last season during their World Series run, I think didn't really have a strong weakness. I mean, maybe the starting pitching was a weakness last year, but that's kind of hard to say because it wasn't like the Dodgers had zero starting pitching. They just had limited starting pitching, but they made up for it with the bullpen, right? I mean, last year that's what happened, right? I mean, last year they had all the injuries. All they had was Flaherty and Buehler and Yamamoto, and that was kind of it, right? In that playoff run last year. So that the limited starting pitching. You thought, okay, that's going to be their weakness, but they had the bullpen was really good last year, right? The bullpen during the playoffs last year during the run was very good. I mean, they had to win a couple bullpen games against San Diego. I'm sorry, one bullpen game against San Diego, and then of course had to do that again against the Phillies. So yeah, I mean those moments like this year. Is this Dodger team really capable of that? I mean, I think that's something we have to kind of think about. I mean, if you saw this, if the Dodgers had injuries, like a large amount of injuries, and they had to go to a bullpen game, would this team really respond, right? I mean, the way this team is looking, the bullpen's looking, I don't know if they can. I mean, I just really wonder if that's the case because I mean right now it's really inconsistent. It's pretty bad right now, the Dodgers bullpen, and what's a little bit concerning was, I mean, the Dodgers are playing against a AAA baseball team, right? I mean, the Reds are not very good. I mean, the Reds are a bad team. They're not very good, and I mean they're struggling again. The Dodgers bullpen struggled against a Reds team that was I mean, come on, the Reds are just not. I mean, we saw the game last night. I mean, we talked about it with Brad a couple days ago as well. I mean, this team does not look very good. The Reds are a team it's even surprising that they're even in the playoffs if you think about it. I mean that's what's kind of crazy that they're even in there. And they're in there because of the format, whatever. The Dodgers, of course, are are going to have to win this series today and close it out. Like, I think that's what I said. Got to close it out today. But I want to go to the comments here. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on. Make sure to like the video and also subscribe if you're seeing this for the first time. Jeffster saying Dodgers need to use tandem starters. Forget the bullpen. Yeah, I mean, at this point, it's getting to the point where the Dodgers have to, maybe use a couple starters instead of doing the traditional, starter goes 5-6 innings and you go to a bullpen pitcher right away in the 6th or 7th. I mean, maybe the Dodgers are going to have to not do that because it doesn't seem to be working right now, right? I mean, it seems like, those last win was 5 wins in a row going into the playoffs, right? Dodgers got into a little streak going into the playoffs. Seattle seemed like they were kind of sleepwalking there. They didn't have a lot to play for. And then Arizona's just not a very good team. So the Dodgers, technically now are playing real games against a team that's trying to win, that's playing for, elimination or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, this is probably what the bullpen is right now. The level of the Dodgers bullpen is, where it's at. That, last night is basically what it is. It's just not consistent. It's going to give up runs, and they're playing, like I said, against a team that's just not very good, which is obviously super concerning. Craig says offense showed up. Muncy should not be hitting fourth. Too rusty. Yeah, I mean, the offense really showed up last night, right? I mean, it was a big offensive output. Ohtani, Teoscar Hernández, those guys were. Hernandez having 2 home runs, right? 4 RBI, which is huge. Ohtani having 3 RBI and 2 home runs. And yeah, I mean, everybody contributed. Max Muncy did struggle a little bit, right? 0 for 4, had a walk, but it was a bit of a struggle. Him batting cleanup is a bit of a risk, I think. I would rather have Teoscar Hernandez batting 4th right there. But yeah, Tommy Edman getting a home run as well, which is cool. And then of course Kike Hernandez going 2 for 3. The guy always contributes in the playoffs, which is super fun. The guy is so fun to watch come October, and he got the start. And what does everybody think about Michael Conforto getting left off the wild card roster, right? I mean, I think that's a big decision that the Dodgers made, and I completely agree with it. I'm not against it at all. I think it's the best decision, but Michael Conforto being left off the playoff wild card roster, we'll see if he's included on the NLDS. I mean, the way it's going, I mean, I don't see why he would. Why would you include Michael Conforto on the NLDS roster? So maybe Michael Conforto's time with the Dodgers has kind of come to an end quietly. We'll even see if he ever comes back. I mean, he's just a 1-year contract, so we'll see if he ever suits up again, which is kind of crazy. But what else we got? We got Eduardo saying, I'd take Banda over Scott. I just hope it doesn't bite us in the ass at the end. Yeah, I mean, I think that was another big decision with Anthony Banda as well. Tanner Scott is on the wild card roster. Luckily did not pitch yesterday. The Dodgers put out Blake Trinan, who pitched pretty good in the 9th inning. But, Tanner Scott. I don't think Tanner Scott is going to be left off any of these rosters. If he's healthy, he will be with the Dodgers' active roster here in these series. I think because just all the money that was invested in Tanner. I think, I would be surprised if Tanner Scott was not. He's going to be on these rosters, right? I really think so. We also got Ray saying there was no excuse for Vesia, Enriquez, and Dryerport. Yeah, I mean, there's no excuse at all. But like I said, this is kind of what the Dodgers bullpen is at. I mean, this is the level of the Dodgers bullpen. We cannot be surprised. At least I'm not surprised. I don't know what everybody thinks, but you can't be surprised that the Dodgers bullpen is having trouble now in the playoffs because this last month, these last 5-6 weeks, that has been what the Dodgers have been doing, right? Taking leads and then blowing games or losing, they're down 1 or 2 runs and the bullpen comes in and it's a complete, disaster, right? And then the Dodgers get blown out. So that's what's been happening the last few weeks. It's just continuing what's been happening. And that's, that's the thing. I mean, the Dodgers have been not consistent when it comes to the bullpen, and it's continuing into the playoffs. Right now, the playoffs are here, and it's the same thing is happening. So I think that's going to be something the Dodgers are going to have to work on. And I think, yeah, I mean, if the bullpen doesn't, fix itself, if it doesn't pitch, they don't start pitching better. I just can't see how the Dodgers, make it to the World Series. I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, right now, the way things are going, I mean, if they're struggling against the Reds, closing out the game, I mean, what's going to happen next series, right, against a very good Phillies team, especially, like, no home field next round? I mean, that's definitely concerning. And, Dodgers are probably going to get this series closed out today because the Reds are just not very good. But after that, I don't know. After that, I just don't know. It's kind of a big unknown for the Dodgers. It's not like last year. I think you were a little bit more confident. I think going into the NLDS. Think about it. They were playing San Diego, so there was confidence the Dodgers were going to get that series done. They had home field, every round. It was a lot different, I think, last year. This year, it is going to take a little bit more. Not impossible, but it is going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, for the Dodgers to go to the World Series and win. It's not going to be easy, right? It will be hard. We got Ray saying, thank God Trinan pitched well. Yeah, Blake Trinan came in. He pitched good in the ninth inning. It was 10-5 at that point. Reds, gotta remember they left the bases loaded in the eighth. Could have got more runs, right? Jack Dreyer came in and got a couple big outs there to get the Dodgers out of that inning because, yeah, it could have been worse, right? It could have definitely been worse in that eighth. The Reds could have tacked on a couple more runs and made it, a little bit closer because, yeah, that was a very long, drawn-out eighth inning. It was really excruciating to watch. You could see all the fans at Dodger Stadium, watching, and it was wild, right? Because think about it, the Dodgers had a 10-2 lead, right? It was 10-2, or actually, yeah, 10-2 going into the eighth inning, right? It was the Dodgers at that point had a 10-2 lead. So you're thinking, the Dodgers tacked on a couple more runs there in the bottom of the seventh to make it 10-2. So you're thinking, okay, this game is over, and the Reds just go crazy, and load. They get all the runs, and they load the bases, and they almost scored. Made it closer, right? They almost made this a 2-run game or something, right, or a 3-run game. So. Yeah, that was definitely really bad to watch if you're a Dodger fan. That the game ended up getting, not close but uncomfortable, right? I think that's the word I was looking for last night watching it or this morning. I was thinking yesterday's win wasn't a comfortable win at the end of the day, right? It was not an easy win. It wasn't a walk in the park. It was definitely a bit uncomfortable. Near the end. So I think that's a little bit, that's not what you want, right? I think the Dodgers wanted to have a comfortable W, and they didn't get it, right? They did not get it. Craig's asking, do you think Ohtani should start today, save Yamamoto for Saturday? I mean, that's, of course, a big question, big, debate that I think a lot of Dodger fans have been having, and we talked a little bit about this with Brad, right? What are the Dodgers going to do when it comes to their pitching and how they were going to manage that? We did kind of agree on Monday that the Dodgers, top 3 starters had to be Ohtani and Yamamoto and Snell, but yeah, I mean the Dodgers deciding to go with Yamamoto tonight. I think it's a good move. If you ask, I think Ohtani, I think Yamamoto, you're trying to just close this out, right? I mean, if you go with Ohtani today, and he blows the game, then you have to use Yamamoto on tomorrow, right? So I think it's better the Dodgers are going with Yamamoto today just to close this series out, right? I mean, they don't want to have a third game, right? I mean, playing a third game, yeah, the Dodgers will probably get the job done, right? Because I mean, this Reds team is not very good. I mean, they don't belong in the playoffs, plain and simple. They don't belong in the playoffs, the Reds. So the Dodgers they could get this series done with half, at half strength, right? They don't, yeah. So yeah, Yamamoto today, I agree with the decision. Going back to Craig's question, I agree with the decision with Dave Roberts and front office making that decision. Ray saying Henriquez reminds me of Kopech. He's wild and loses control. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of Henriquez. I think he doesn't have enough control to be a bullpen pitcher, and he might have the velocity, but it only goes so far. And I've not been a big fan of his pitching, and yesterday was just not very good. It was not very good, and against a team that's bad, right? The Reds stink. Let's not act like this team is good. Saying it's strange when the Dodgers have a huge lead, you still doubt the team can win. Yeah, that's where the Dodgers are at right now. That's it's not a good place to be in. That's the truth of it. The Dodgers are not in a good place right now when it comes to their ability to close out games and their ability to win games, right? It's just they're not in a good spot right now, because right now the Dodgers take a 4-0 lead, a 5-0 lead. You don't know what's going to happen, right? You have no idea if the Dodgers are going to get it done, or you just don't know. There's too much doubt when it comes to the Dodgers right now, and consistency. There's no consistency when it comes to the bullpen, and it's just not. That's not. You're not in a good. The Dodgers are not in a good place with their pitching, and it's just. The thing is, some people are saying the Dodgers have the best offense, and if they score runs, they can win. And that's true, right? That's kind of how the Dodgers won yesterday. That is true. The Dodgers score a lot. Put 8-10 runs a game, they're gonna win. Nobody's gonna beat them, but let's be realistic. Are the Dodgers actually going to do what they did yesterday in every game against Philadelphia, right? They're not. They're just not going to do that. There's going to be games where the Dodgers don't score any runs, or they're just scoring 1 or 2 runs. And can the Dodgers win, right? That's the question. Can the Dodgers win a game like in Philadelphia where they're up 1-0 in the 7th inning? Can they get the 9 outs, right? And that's the question where I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can right now. I just don't. It's too many games the Dodgers have let the other team back. Ray saying Conforto was left off the roster because, Kike needs to play, period. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I just think it's a big decision, right? Because Conforto is a player that's been so, they've played him so much this year. He got paid a lot of money. And so hyped up by front office or whatever, and now playoffs come around, he's been pushed aside. So I think his time is coming to an end here with the Dodgers. I think if he can't even get on the wild card roster, I think that's exactly what the Dodgers think of him, which is fine because he has not played good at all this year. Kay is saying we just can't use the bullpen. It's getting to that point. We cannot use the bullpen. The starter needs to stay in the game as long as possible, right? That's it. Look at what the Red Sox did yesterday. The Red Sox, as we know, got the win against the Yankees, right? They were able to get that win, but what did they do? Garrett Crochet threw like 117 pitches, right? It was a big performance. That's exactly. Sometimes you need to have the Dodgers are probably going to have to have at least one of those games or a couple of those games, where the starting pitcher goes super deep in the game, right? Super deep in the game, and I think that's something that we have to kind of keep an eye on, right? I think we're going to need one of those performances probably from Yamamoto. Because I don't think Glasnow is capable, and obviously Ohtani's not capable. Snell could do it, right? I think Snell and Yamamoto are a couple of those guys that when they're on the mound, you got to hope they could go 100, 105 pitches or more because, we can't really use the bullpen. It's at that point. We cannot use it. I agree. We can't use it. Brian's saying, who's complaining about Conforto not playing? You need to pack your bags too. And leave. If you don't like the Conforto is not playing, there's no reason. He should not be playing. I'm glad he's on the roster. When do you do 7-8 lock? Then you're talking about pitching. We need Knack to do the 7-8 lock. Landon Knack, okay. And then Tim saying 59 pitches in the 8th inning, unacceptable. Henriquez should be off the postseason roster. Like, your choice was uncomfortable. You nailed it, Mike. Appreciate it, Tim. 59 pitches is unacceptable. Come on. This is a playoff game. You're using that much of the bullpen against this Reds team. That's pretty bad. It's just not where you want to be. The Dodgers are World Series contenders right now. At least they're clearly the favorite to win the World Series, no matter what people think. They have all the players. Sure, they might not be playing their best right now in terms of a team, but they're clearly the World Series contenders. If they're struggling to get wins like this against the Reds, that's not very good. It's pretty concerning. Big R saying the Reds belong in the playoffs. They won games, they had to win. Don't blame them because the NL's weak. I think the National League, the whole playoff system is flawed in baseball because for many years we only had, 2 teams out of each league making the playoffs, right? And then it switched over to 4, which I think 4 was fine. And then now it's just gotten out of control, right? Now we have 6 teams in each league making the playoffs, which I think is way too much. And you end up having teams like San Diego and the Reds in the playoffs who, in my opinion, don't belong in the playoffs. San Diego, Cincinnati, these teams are not very good, and they didn't do enough to really deserve to be there. That's it. I don't think they did enough. Think about it. The Reds ended up losing to make the playoffs, right? The Mets, it's just they're not very good teams. If this was 10 years ago, the Reds would be at home. And the Dodgers would be playing in the NLDS right now because I think, honestly, we just need to get into the NLDS. We don't need an extra wild card round. There's already 162 games being played. There's no reason to have a wild card round. There's just no reason whatsoever. I completely disagree with it. I disagree with the top 2 teams getting a bye and then having to sit for a whole week and wait for these games to be played. It's just a disadvantage. It's just not. I don't like it. I don't like the wild card. I never liked the wild card game, and I definitely don't. I think this is a worse form. I like the wild card game actually better because that was done faster, right? It was just a 1-day thing. It was Tuesday, Wednesday, and the divisional series were starting on Thursday. So I liked that format better. Honestly, I think this format is worse because we have to wait even more days. I'm not a big fan of that. I just don't think I'm not a big fan of the Dodgers getting that of baseball having the wild card game, right? I don't agree with it. I just think it's not the best way to go for baseball to have these decisions to have the wild card round. Just not a big fan of it. But we also got what else we got here? Let's go to can't use a bullpen. We also got Jesus saying Yamamoto, Robo Knack, Vesey closing 9th inning. Yep, his pitches are crazy. He just has speed. Yeah, I like I said, he has a lot of velocity, but he has no control whatsoever. His pitches are all over the place. I'm not a big fan of it. But Big R saying the Reds don't suck. That's ridiculous. You never talk about your opponent like that. Well, come on. The Reds do suck. They in my opinion, they're a trash team. They don't belong in the playoffs. And that's it. There's no doubt. That is my opinion. I don't think this team belongs in the playoffs. They just don't. Look at the American League too. Did the Detroit? Sure, the Tigers ended up winning that game yesterday against Cleveland, but they don't really deserve to be in the playoffs either, right? I mean, Cleveland won that division fair and square, and that's it. There should just be 4 teams. That's it. Just 3 division winners and 1 wild card. That's it. It's not that hard. It's just not that hard, guys. I mean, I think 4 teams is a good number. We play 162 games here. The season is already long enough as it is. There's no reason to have 2 extra teams in the playoffs and give extra chances for situations like we had a couple years back with the Arizona D-backs making the World Series, not being a good team. Nobody wants to see that, right? No, I don't care what people say. Oh no, like there's some people out there that say, yeah, no, that's like a like a Cinderella series or whatever moment that Arizona going to the World Series. Nobody wants to see that. I mean, Arizona didn't deserve to even be in the playoffs that year. A year that they swept us. If we 2 years ago, right? Arizona swept the Dodgers in 2023. Let's not forget that. But that year, the Dodgers were supposed to win that series and they didn't, right? So, yeah, I just don't think teams like that don't belong in the playoffs. They just don't. Ray saying, why was Edman pulled so early? Hope he's not injured. Of course, we know Edman's been dealing with the ankle injury. Also, we got saying, what can the Dodgers get for Conforto? Well, they're not going to get anything for him because Conforto is going to be walking. He's a free agent after this year, so they won't be getting anything for him. Basically, he's just going to be, a free agent. So Dodgers are not going to re-sign Michael. I think he's gone. I mean, if they're not even putting him on the wild card roster, I just can't see how. Yeah, he's gone. I think he will be on another team next year. Big R saying we can use their bullpen. We just need to use the better parts of it. Dave Roberts sucks at handling the bullpen. Well, yeah, I mean, Dave Roberts has, you have to blame Dave Roberts, for a lot of what's been going on in the last few weeks. I mean, I think in my opinion, Dave Roberts hasn't done the best of jobs, I think, with the Dodgers management this year. And yeah, I mean, that's got to get better. So yeah, Dave Roberts, I mean, I'm just worried about next series. I mean, plain and simple, after last night's game, I know the Dodgers are going to win the series against the Reds. They're going to win today, most likely. If they lose today, I mean, Jesus Christ, come on. They got to play a must-win game tomorrow. That would be. I would be pissed off if they lost today. I really would be, because I would think there's no reason why the Dodgers should not sweep Cincinnati, right? And there's no excuse. The thing is, there's no excuse for the Dodgers not to sweep Cincinnati tonight. There isn't. You cannot find an excuse that's valid for the Dodgers not to sweep Cincinnati today. There is no excuse because Cincinnati is not a good team. So there's no excuse for the Dodgers not to sweep them tonight. So, yeah, if they lose today somehow and they have to play in a winner-take-all game tomorrow, I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, that is not a good place to be in. Shohei Ohtani pitching tomorrow. He's limited. You have to go to the bullpen earlier. It's just a bad situation if that happens. And yeah, that's why got to win today. Got to get the W today. Because bullpen's limit. Ohtani's limited, right? That's it. Ohtani is a limited starting pitcher for the rest of this year. That's not going to change, right? It's not going to change. So, and it probably never will change. I mean, as long as Ohtani's a two-way player, which that's not going to change either, he will always be a limited starter. So, that's something that we have to keep an eye on as well. So, bullpen, not good right now. Tim saying the 60s, Dodgers would scratch for a run, and we had Drysdale and Koufax to make it stand up. This year's team is not like that. Yeah, not at all, right? And you have to have, that's what I'm saying. I think the Dodgers, you have to have those sort of games that, you're not going to score a lot of runs, and you have to rely on the bullpen. Well, because back in those days, like you're saying, Tim, you had the starting pitcher going so deep in the game, right? It was a totally different time, right? Sandy Koufax, all these guys, Don Drysdale. It was Drysdale more in the 70s, right? But yeah, back in those days, I mean, you had, these guys going complete games. All that's done, right? So now you have to rely on the starter to have a good 5-6 innings, and then the bullpen has to come in and do something, right? Has to, get the outs. And the Dodgers, they're not doing that at all. So that's what's worried. You have to be worried about the NLDS. I mean, we'll see what Brad thinks, but I think we'll talk, with Brad J as well, probably about this tomorrow. But you have to be at least a bit concerned about the Dodgers in the next round now, because the bullpen has just not been consistent enough for you to feel confident, right? Paul's asking, Mike, have they lost all confidence in Scott? I mean, yeah, the way Tanner Scott was last week against Seattle. He got that win, he got the save on Friday, right? Remember where he loaded the bases and got the save. But yeah, I think the Dodgers have lost confidence in Scott. I really do think so. The way he's pitched the last few weeks, what confidence can you have in him, right? That's why we have Blake Trinan, which I don't know if Blake Trinan is really a closer. I never seen him as a closer. So really the Dodgers don't have a closer, which is another problem, I think. Another weakness of this team. There's no real closer. So yeah, that's a problem, I think. We don't have a closer, basically. Big R saying, well, I agree with you with the old system being better. We had the one game. Yeah. I think that was a little better than this. The best of three is it's a joke. The system's a joke. I hate it, right? It's just a lousy system where you have to play an extra week of baseball. And then it's worse because think about it. The Dodgers won the National League West. What are we doing here, right? We're a divisional champ. We should not be playing in a wild card round. We're not a wild card team. We don't belong in the conversation with the wild card teams because we're not a wild card team. We're a divisional winner. So totally unfair that we have to play this week. Totally not a fan at all about it. Paul's saying Reds are backed in. Yeah, Reds are clearly backed in. They are, whatever. The Reds they're basically done. Come on. They got to win 2 at Dodger Stadium. Sure, it can happen, but yeah. They look pretty. They look pretty bad last night, I would say. Craig saying Henriquez is just gripping the ball too tight. Playoff jitters. He'll be better next time. I hope so, Craig, because yeah, it hasn't been too good for him in the last not just playoff games, because I think in the regular season he has had some similar moments as last night as well. So that has to change if he wants to continue to be a mainstay in the Dodgers playoff rotation. I think so. But we also got Big R saying how the Reds got back in. They won 10. Yeah, they won some games at the end, but like I said, I think we have too many playoff teams. The Reds should not even be playing right now. I don't think. I just don't think we need so many playoff teams. I don't agree with it. That's like I don't agree with the play-in in the NBA for the basketball fans out there. I don't agree with it. I think we need less playoff teams. We don't need to dilute the regular season. We need to get on with it, right? Especially baseball. We play too many games here. It's 162 games. We had enough time here to decide who's the best. And the Dodgers are one of those playoff teams. That's the thing. The Dodgers are clearly a playoff team. You can't disagree with that. The Dodgers belong in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. They belong in the playoffs. So yeah. We got Paul saying, "Hey Craig, I agree on Enriquez. Yeah, overthrowing. Yeah, I would say so." We also got NC saying, I will slide some 6, baby. That's funny. And then we got saying two of the National League Central teams are on a rebuild. That's why the Reds want it. Yeah. Well, the Reds didn't win the division. Remember, the Reds got a wild card. The Central was won by the Brewers. Cubs are the other wild card team. And yeah, St. Louis Cardinals are a dumpster fire right now. They're the other team in the Central. Then of course, what is it? The Pittsburgh Pirates, or the Pirates are in the East, right? I'm blanking out right now. I'll check it right now. What's the other team in the National League Central? But yeah, the National League Central and in general, the National League had a lot of bad teams. Yeah, I was right. I was right on the first try. Pittsburgh Pirates, right? The Pirates are a big. They're a joke too, right? The Cardinals and Pirates are a joke, both of those teams. So, yeah, the Reds took advantage. There's a lot less divisional games now too, right? And, now you have the interleague and all that kind of stuff, so that kind of messes the whole thing up too, which is stupid. We have to have interleague every day, but yeah. We also got MP saying Enriquez is trash, but Roberts is in love with him. He did the same last postseason, so why did he put him on the roster? Yeah, Roberts ends up having certain players he likes, and he keeps them and all that, so yeah, I didn't like his performance yesterday, and I don't want to see him pitch today. I really hope the Dodgers, don't put him in tonight. Keenan saying if you make it to the World Series, you deserve to be in the playoffs. Well, I mean, if you make it to the World Series a year before, it's a new season the next year. I don't think you automatically deserve to be in the playoffs, but I think I kind of understand what you're trying to get at, Keenan. But Dodgers, Z Showtime saying Dodgers bullpen will be the biggest problem right now. I mean, that's it. I mean, the Dodgers bullpen, I think it's the biggest bull. Yeah, that's got to be the biggest problem right now, right? Ray saying this bullpen is killing me seriously. Yeah, the bullpen is definitely killing us for sure. Definitely killing us for sure. MP saying offense better show up for Yoshi. Yeah, tonight is all about the offense, right? And it's always going to be about the offense with the Dodgers. So I think today, the offense got to put some runs on the board early, just like the Dodgers did last night for Snell. Who was great, right? We already said that Snell was great the first 6 innings. I think we got to at least commend him for that. I think it's been kind of lost. The final score kind of lost and all that was his big performance, right? I think that's the big it was kind of lost and all that, right? So yeah, I think he was great in a pitching performance, and yeah. Paul saying use Ohtani in pen only. That's a good point there, Paul, because we've discussed that, we've talked about that with Brad, and we've kind of discussed that and debated that. But Ohtani is going to be a starting pitcher for the Dodgers in the playoffs. That's a decision that they made. It's a big decision because Ohtani's limited as a starter, right? He is limited as a starter. That is not going to change. So that is a big difference, right? Big difference, right? Baseball is much different today. It's played way different. That's a big R saying baseball is much different today. Baseball has changed so much now. Now it's more of an analytics-driven sport. Tim saying Drysdale, yeah, it's true. That's right. John Drysdale retired in the 60s. It's been too long, right? I wasn't around then, but yeah. Thanks, Tim, for correcting me there. We got Big R saying Dave has to stretch these starters out and back them up with other starters like Sheehan, Kershaw, Glasnow, and Sasaki. So, yeah, stretching the starters out would be what I hope the Dodgers do. But, looking at what I'm just saying the Dodgers never seem to do that, really. Like, there's only a couple guys on this roster that they would do it with. Like I said, Yamamoto and Snell. But the other starters, Glasnow and Ohtani, are not going to get stretched out. So those days, we're going to have the bullpen step up. And that's going to be the problem. Can the Dodgers do that? Can they get, on those days where Ohtani or Glasnow are pitching, can the bullpen close it out, right? That's going to be the big question mark. Paul saying, confident Scott will blow it, not good. We're at that point now that Scott, whenever he comes in, you're thinking he's not going to get it done. So that's a problem now. That's not where you want to be. Paul saying old format was too wild cards play. Yeah, that was the old format for a few years, right? Before they switched to this, which I think was better. But I like the format even before that. I like the 4 teams only. That's what I liked. I didn't like the wild. I don't think we should have extra wild card games. There's no point in it. Craig saying no reward for a division winner. Yeah, basically just the two top division winners get this bye, but it's not really a reward either. And then the third team's got to play extra games, so it's just stupid. The whole thing is just a stupid format that whatever dumbass Rob Manfred came up with, one of the worst commissioners ever in sports. Because it's just a dumb system, right? Even Big R saying, I really dislike the new playoff format. It's terrible. I mean, I agree with that statement. It's a terrible format. We need to change it. And unfortunately, the way baseball is, it doesn't seem like it is going to change, right? Because, as we know, they're currently negotiating the new TV contract rights or whatever, the new deal for next year because ESPN basically opted out of their contract with Major League Baseball. So right now, Major League Baseball doesn't have a broadcaster for Sunday Night Baseball, and they also don't have a broadcaster for this wild card round. So that seems like the baseball has a chance right now. Think about it. They have a chance right now to scratch it. They have a chance to scratch the wild card round right now because they don't even have a broadcaster for these games next year. So it doesn't seem like they are. But this would be the chance to scratch the whole system and just say we're going straight to the NLDS and straight to the ALDS when the playoffs are over. We're only having 4 teams, and that's it. That's what they should do. That's what we need to petition for baseball to do. Cut the whole wild card round. Let's go straight to the DSs. Ray Velasquez is saying, Mike, last year we rode the bullpen all the way to the finish. This year, let's ride the starting pitching to our second ring. Let's go. I like the thinking. The starting pitching's got to take us to the promised land. And also the hitting, right? We need to score runs like we did last night. And if we have the right combination of a great pitching performance from the starter, going 6-7 innings, combined with a lot of runs put on the board early, we're going to win the World Series. I'm just saying that there's going to be games where we're not going to be able to do that. And can the bullpen close out a 1-0, 2-0 game? Can we do it? Can we keep a game tied up if we have to go to extra innings? Can we get the job done in extra innings, right? Because there's no extra runner at second base in the playoffs. So can the bullpen get it done, right? That's going to be the question. Can we win games like that? Because right now I don't feel confident that we can. Dodgers Eat Soda Time says Yamamoto needs to pitch all 9 innings because of the blow pen. I like that. Yeah, it's getting to that point, guys. I mean, come on. I mean, when the starter comes out of the game, you just know the bullpen is going to give up runs. I mean, it's getting to that point. So, I want to see Yamamoto go 8-9 innings tonight. Why not? Why not have Yamamoto? If he's at 80, 90 pitches and it's the 7th, 8th inning, keep him in the game. Just keep him in the game. Don't take him out. Let's have Yamamoto have 100, 110 pitches tonight, and that's what I'm hoping for, right? I mean, why not? This is the playoffs. This is the playoffs right now. So let's get Yamamoto 100, 110 pitches. He goes deep in the game, and his arm might fall off after, but let's keep him in there as long as he can. Yeah, totally agree with that. Big R saying, plus, even if you finish with one of the top 2 records, you got to sit around for a week. Yeah, it's just a stupid system. It's a dumb system about money. Like he says, like Big R saying right here, you get all rusty and bounce stupid systems. It's all about money. That's why they do it. Yeah, exactly why it's for. Ray is saying we need to maximize our starting rotation at least 8 innings. Unfortunately, because of our bullpen, we need to do that. I'm just saying that when we have Glasnow or Ohtani, a couple guys that are limited, that's not going to happen, right? Like tomorrow, if we have to have a third game, Ohtani is going to be limited. He's only going to go 5 or 6 innings. I don't care. That's how it's going to be. Ohtani is not going to go deep in the games because they don't want to get him hurt. They want him to be the DH. So he's going to be limited, and then the bullpen, what's going to happen, right? That's why Ohtani is starting tomorrow. I mean, if we have a game tomorrow, and that's why think about Ohtani starting in game 1 of the NLDS, and as a limited pitcher, that's something to keep an eye on as well. But Jeff's format says, good playoff. Craig saying, good playoff experience for future Dodgers, Green de la Cruz. We got Jeff saying, the format is what it is. It's all about money. It's not going to change. That's the thing. If they get the money for this new contract that they're currently negotiating for the wild card round next year, right? I mean, it seems like they're gonna push forward with that. They're not gonna stop trying to get that payday for these games. NBC is a rumored broadcaster for next year for the wild card round. So yeah, it doesn't seem like it's going away, unfortunately. Big Art saying exactly, Jeff. Paul saying, game on the line in the ninth. I want Ohtani pitching CWBC against Mike Trout. Yeah, he closed out the game, did a great job. And yeah, Ohtani maybe is a closer, right? Maybe he is a closer. Craig saying, cut the season back 154 games if they want more playoff games. Yeah, definitely would like that. Cut the season. If you want to have more playoff games, let's cut the season by a week. Let's end the baseball season before Halloween. Come on, I don't want to be watching the World Series on Halloween like this year. It's just stupid. I want to celebrate Halloween, the best holiday. And yeah, it's dumb that we have to have with Game 6 of the World Series is scheduled for on Halloween night, which is so dumb. And yeah, just a lot of dumb things that baseball has. It doesn't seem like it's going to change, and that's what's ruining baseball. It's ruining the game. It's that simple. Big R saying you got to ride your ace in the playoffs. Yeah, we need an ace. We have a couple aces in Yamamoto and Snell. I think this year we have a couple guys that the Dodgers can go to deep in games. Snell pitched like an ace last night, right? He definitely did. Blake Snell looked great. And I expect Yamamoto to look great tonight as well. I really do. I think he's going to be great. I think the Dodgers are going to win tonight. Got to be excited. If you're going to the game tonight, make sure to be super loud. I know you guys were loud last night, which was great to hear and watch on TV. ESPN sucks, by the way. Their broadcast sucks. I did not like it. I don't know if you guys caught last night on the broadcast. I wanted to bring this up. Did you guys notice in the first inning that the audio was totally out of sync and we actually heard Ohtani's home run before it happened on TV, which was total BS? You heard the ball hit the bat before it actually happened on TV, and you heard the ball leave the stadium as well. You heard the crowd go crazy before it happened because the audio was totally out of sync. They, of course, did fix it, but ESPN just sucks. Their broadcast sucks. Their production sucks. The whole thing about it sucks. And yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of ESPN doing baseball. And I'm so happy that they're leaving. God damn. I mean, I'm just happy this broadcaster is gone, and I really hope baseball never works for them again, because they have done such a poor job with their broadcasts and their talent and the people they hire, and just even the production was garbage last night. So yeah, definitely happy that they are gone, at least reportedly going to be gone. Strict saying bullpen is still suspect. Yeah, I mean that is definitely a correct statement right there. Bullpen is suspect. Big R saying, look at what happened to the Yankees when they pulled out their ace. Yeah, they blew it. I mean, that was so funny to watch last night. I mean, the Yankees pull out Fried and they lose the game. It was awesome. I watched that game as well because I try to watch all the baseball playoff games. Like today, I'm just going to be watching these games. And that was so funny to watch, the Yankees pulling out. I mean, the Yankees are a joke. They choked. They suck, right? The Yankees suck. They're not going anywhere. They're going to lose this series, and they're a joke. Aaron Boone's going to get fired because the Yankees fucking suck. I mean, that's it. They're a joke, right? Big Ard saying, media ESPN sucks. I miss Ohtani's home runs. They want to show. Yeah, that's true. ESPN was showing. There was that problem with ESPN2 and all that because the game was going on. But yeah, if you were watching it, the home run, the audio was totally out of sync. It was a joke. MP saying, just glad I can't. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll keep my opinion about Jessica Mendoza to myself. I don't want to get canceled, but yeah, it's we'll just leave it at that. Ray saying we can't leave the bases loaded as well. We need to go for the juggler. Yeah. I mean, look at what the Yankees did yesterday. I mean, bases loaded, nobody out. Couldn't score. What a joke. They suck, man. Correct saying ESPN should have started. Yeah, that's, of course, tonight, same thing's going to happen. Game's going to be at 3, and it's going to be 3 hours later. Dodgers are playing. So yeah, same thing will happen today. You got to go on ESPN2 if it happens. Just remember, ESPN2, that's where the Dodgers game is probably going to start again. Ray saying piggyback, Glasnow and Sheehan. And yeah, I mean, just got to hope the bullpen can close it out. And yeah, looking forward to tonight. Definitely going to be watching. Excited for a Dodgers W tonight. Let's sweep the Reds and let's go to the NLDS. So I want to thank everybody for watching the stream today. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to tell everybody that Dodgers Digest is the best Dodger channel out there. And, yeah, we're going to be on tomorrow morning as well. And then if there's a third game, I'll be doing a live post game right after the game on Thursday night. But, yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow morning. I'll see everybody tomorrow. And as always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!